I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I live in the real world. I mean, everybody has to work, right? Well, my job is CS, customer service, solutions, relationships, and generating motivation to keep my team pumped up and truly connected to every single guest that steps into that store. This is C.T.C.S, episode number 48. Retail comes with a price.
All right, here we go. Day number 1 of another series of days in customer service. New guy Bill and I had a conversation last week about how it's so easy to get burned out by listening to everybody's excuses as to why they decided in the last minute to basically bring something back. I mean, I'm still not over a situation that happened last week, which was this gentleman bought an amazing amount of cheese and he brought 90% of it back and wanted his money back. And we looked at him and said, we're just going to throw it away. What do you mean? Why are you going to throw it away? Well, it's a milk product. And once it leaves this building, we don't know where it went. So you put up with it. Candy-coated plastic bathroom mirror smiles. But here we go. This is the transition walk. And I think this one really needs to be an intention walk. My intentions today are. I think I did something pretty stupid today. I did my blood work for my cholesterol, and the blood work showed that it had really increased. And so the doctor goes, "Well, we need to raise your medicine, and to go from 40 to 80% or 80 milligrams." And so I had 40 milligrams at home, and he says 80. Okay, so I'll take 2, and there's the 80. We'll get this thing started. And but now I feel like I've gotten my ass kicked. I have absolutely no energy. And here's where I'm really pissed off at myself. Why didn't I call the doctor first? Well, one of the things that we do in customer service is we are in control of the smoking products. And for 2 years, I've always just poked the things in there, never realizing that it's a drawer. You pull out the drawer and you easily put the cigarettes and all that kind of stuff in there. Blew me away. I learned a trick today from new guy Bill. Walking through the warehouse where all the different food is stored and everything like that, the meat department is washing the floor, and the drain is clogged. I mean, it's flooded like you wouldn't believe back there. And of course, the thing I'm thinking about more importantly is someone's going to come walking through here. They're going to slip. They're going to fall. They're going to get an injury of their leg or even a fall on their arm and stuff like that. So we got to get Drano. Drano at the grocery store. We've had a complete electronic shutdown. All the registers are shut down. Nobody is getting to use their cards, their EBT cards or anything like that. So everything is shut down at this time. We're trying to figure out how to reboot this as immediately as possible. The main thing that we need to do is we need to maintain. We need to keep our level of energy down, and we need to find focus. But it's trying to convince the guests that not to freak out. We're going to get them checked out just in time and everything like that. So, but if we start freaking out on our side at CS, then they're going to think they're, have reason to freak out as well. Things have finally calmed down in the store. Nobody really knows the reason why we had an electronic failure. All I know is that we went 6 deep on each one of the registers, and then the last time that this happened, the craziest thing was that people just left their carts and left it in the store, and then we had thousands of dollars worth of groceries that we had to put back. But at this point in time, things are looking much better, running a lot smoother. So good for the team for not freaking out. Like I said, if we freak out, people are going to freak out. So we have to remain calm. Transition walk into day number 2. Maybe I need to explain what a transition walk is, because we're so deep into this and it has become a part of C.T.C.S. I'm a podcaster. I get the blessed opportunity to talk with a lot of famous people, and to be in that state of mind only to go work at a grocery store is like, oh man, not the same people. My guests at the store are not the people that I interview, and the people I interview are not my guests. And so I have to do a transition walk because I have to have separation between church and state. Who I am in the studio is not who I am in the grocery store. And so I take these daily transition walks so that I can clear the head, the heart, be prepared to serve the community and not serve myself. I can hear you singing that Christmas song all the way in the front.
I'm not singing it, I'm whistling.
Well, you're whistling.
What are you doing?
That's a powerful whistle.
I can whistle really good.
All right, well, thanks for sharing the Christmas music. one of the things I like to do is I like to show prep before I come into the grocery store. I like to go and get oddball news and stuff like that because I need a conversation breaker. And so one of the stories that I bumped into today was in the state of New York, somebody has signed into law that it's no longer a salesman. So you don't have salesmen on your team anymore. It's a salesperson. And so I get it, but are we going to go through the whole entire dictionary, start changing everything? Is that too political? Okay, probably is for a CS agent. I'm probably going to curse the situation that we're presently in. It's kind of a melancholy Friday. I mean, there's even flow of people coming in, but there's no real stories being generated. People are more like, man, I just need to get the hell out of here so I can get into my brand new weekend. And people do act like that. They'll look at you with that stare that says, I don't have time for you today, buddy. It's time for the weekend, and I got to get my beer, and I got to get my ass home. Every 6 months, we have to take a Western Union test by law. We have to take it. And it has to be 100% correct. And again, I messed up on the one thing. It's for aging adults, older people. What kind of identification can you accept? And for some reason I still want the driver's license. I still want all that kind of stuff. And really, medical cards and stuff like that with a pictured ID will work. But man, that means I got to take that damn test all over again. And again, our cash registers are down. The electronic devices are down. This is 2 days in a row. You've got to bypass the system and make sure that these guests are not leaving. We've had 2 already just leave their $200, $300 worth of groceries. They said they don't have time for this kind of stuff. So we're down again, the second time this weekend. Well, at least we didn't fall apart when it comes to these digital devices screwing up or like this. The one thing that we do, I mean, is everybody that was here yesterday. So therefore, we went right into action just like we did yesterday and kept moving things out. We probably had maybe 4 people altogether leave the store and leave. And so we've spent the past hour and a half, 2 hours now, putting about $1,000 worth of food back on the shelf because they didn't want to wait. Okay, this is a conversation between us, okay? And the conversation is, can't a man have a girlfriend or 2 or 3 or 4? We have a gentleman that comes into the store all the time, and he's got a new girl around his arm all the time, and so people are convinced that he's a pimp. And it's like, can't a guy just have girlfriends or just friends that he likes to hang around with without, giving him a label? I just think he's an all-around fun guy, and people just are attracted to him. A few episodes ago, we talked about one of my favorite managers, and his dog was not doing well at all. Tonight, day after they allowed the dog to transition, we sat down for about 30 minutes, and we talked about the growing period and stuff. This is his first dog that he's ever lost. And my wife and I, we've rescued 9 dogs, and so that means we've lost 8 dogs. So, and I told him, it was like talking to a very good friend about keeping your heart open and by being available, because that's what your dog would really want you to be, is just be available and be compassionate, be unconditional, because your dog was unconditional with you, and that really, start learning the lessons that your dog shared with you. Transition walk, day number 3. I hurt like hell. I'm not even into day number 3 yet. I hurt like hell. And what's so interesting about this pain is that it can actually be a conversation starter with a guest that comes to the store. Because for some reason, people think that they want to tell you that they hurt like hell. And then you start comparing your wounds. All right, so that'll be the conversation starter. But how do you do it using positive energy? Well, I just got word that I have no bagger tonight. So that means that between 5 and 10 p.m., I'll be the one out there getting all those carts in here. The man that has the Achilles tendon injury but has not bitched about it once on this episode, I don't know what the hell's wrong. I just learned a new term today. It's called quiet quitters. I just saw it on CNN. Quiet quitters are people who are employees. They come to do the job, but they don't go the extra mile. They just do the job and then get the hell out of there as quickly as possible. And and I posted it on Facebook. Business leaders are talking about it, and they're throwing out accusations against employees. Guys, that's how it starts, because the business leaders are not taking care of those that are supporting them. There's a new money order scam that's taking place. What they do is they come in and they get dollar money orders. They usually get up to 30. And then after they purchase them, they go and they start doctoring up the dollar money order. and they're getting thousands of dollars for it. And it's just one of those things where we're now under strict warning. You know, if anybody starts asking for $1 money orders, go ahead and get the manager involved in this situation. But man, people are just, they use that imagination to really, you know, to work it so they can get, you know, what it is. I mean, that's part of scamming. You got to be brilliant in the mind. All right, day number 2 for this Western Union test. You have to get all 30 answers 100% correct. I think it's because I was really familiar with the way the questions are, and they structure it in a way it's supposed to tease you. It is supposed to play games with your head. But I aced it. It took me 2 times again, but I'll never forget the very first time. 2 years ago, it took me 4 times, and then you just finally realize, we pay attention to what's going on. We've got some very upset guests this evening. Our deli is closing on a Saturday at 5 p.m. Not enough employees, and our guests don't understand that. And you know what? I don't either, because it's like, okay, what happened here? How does a situation like this unfold? I mean, even where we are up in customer service, I mean, we're down a bunch of players as well. And no matter what, the show must go on, no matter how many players we have. Sometimes it's only 2. A young adult comes up to me out in the parking lot, and I know who he is. I just want to set this up. He comes up to me in the parking lot, and he goes, "Wow, CT, you gave up customer service to do bagging?" And I looked at him, and I go, "Dude, your name is on the list. I'm out here doing this because you quit. You know, you quit without notice." No. I didn't quit customer service. You quit, and I'm doing your job. Transition walk number 4. I don't know how people like New Guy Bill and others can put in 6 days of work at a grocery store. I work with people that will go 11 to 14 days in a row. And then they've got like secondary jobs that they go to. I don't know how. I'm just 3 days. I'm beat up. I'm exhausted. I'm bruised. I hurt. So I salute anybody in retail, and I salute everybody in retail in the way that I don't know how you do it, but I'm proud of you for extending yourself to the public and giving them what they need so they can serve a greater life. I almost felt like I should be singing the Aerosmith song, Back in the Saddle Again. I'm back in the saddle again. Because we're here. It's a busy day, like right away. And people are getting their butts kicked at those registers because we're 3 and 4 deep already. So, but we expect this because school starts tomorrow and parents need to fill up their cupboards. So obviously sometime yesterday I banged up my inner elbow while doing the carts and stuff. I mean, bruised everywhere. And then all of a sudden I look at my arm today and the thought that hit me was, that bruise looks like it's traveling. Oh my God. Do I have a blood clot? So of course that's in my mind right now. But we'll be watching it, find out is it a bruise or is it a clot? One of the toughest jobs in a grocery store is making sure that you remove the tags from sales. And I mean, there's literally hundreds of thousands of them. Like I'm looking at one right now that says you can get it for $3.99. It is normally $4.49. They've got to come down on a certain date. If not, then what's going to happen is somebody's going to go by and they're going to see that gigantic steak that says $8.99. And, but it's not. They took out a $27 steak for $8.99 because the tag was still up and the sale was over. The number one thing that I hear endlessly is, I've walked by this place 10 times and didn't even see it. I know. The reason why you don't see it on the top shelf or the bottom shelf is because there's so much stuff in one aisle that your mind is seeing everything but the one thing that you're looking for. I totally get it. But it's just the secret of finding things is to walk slowly and go item by item, and you'll find it. A guest comes up to us at customer service and says, these are ringing up $6.97. This should be only like $3.90. It's bacon. And we look at the person and say, no, it's $6.97. Well, Mike back in the meat department says I can have it for $3 something. And we're like, who is Mike in the meat department? And so, because really what we're doing is we want to hear it from, a manager that this person can get it for $3 and a few cents. And so a little powwow has to take place. I mean, the guy that works in the meat department doesn't tell the customer or the guest that, hey, look, just tell them that I said so. Well, when we get into a situation like that, nobody says so until we get the approval from higher management. People don't really realize the impact of writing a bad check. And tonight, somebody came through my register, and my computer right away said, "Do not accept a check from this person." And at that point in time, the training that we go through, you don't look at them and explain to them why we can't accept the check. I mean, it's like even if we feel like that there's trouble with the money orders and stuff like that, you don't look at them and say anything. All you do is you just say, "My computer is not accepting this transition that you're currently doing." But I mean, I read the stuff about that obviously he's written a bad check, and this company just isn't going to forgive you.